This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Learn a new skill with a free trial by being one of the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description.
Good news everyone, 2021 is actually an exciting year for tyres. We have a brand new ultra high performance contender taking the fight directly to Michelin, Goodyear and Continental, some extreme updates of existing patterns and the promise of new tyres on the horizon later this year. As usual, we're starting the video with performance tyres as that's what we're all excited about. This is the fourth year in a row I'll be recommending the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S and the Continental SportContact 6. When you actually stop and think about this, 4 years later and they're still at the very top, it's really impressive. But as I hinted at the start of the video, there are some new boys in town to get excited about right now. 2019 brought us the arrival of the Goodyear Eagle F1 SuperSport, and like the Michelin and Continental, this tyre is mostly aimed at 19-inch and above. I actually really liked the F1 SuperSport in testing. It was a tyre that always felt more sporty than the Michelin, and even if no tyre can ever seem to quite match the raw grip of the Michelin around a single lap, the F1 SuperSport felt fun, which for me is a really big win and something I value in a tyre enormously. However, if you have smaller wheels and you're looking for a performance tyre, you might feel hard changed. The Pilot Sport 4S is only available in one 18-inch fitment in Europe, and that's 225/4018, thanks to the new Toyota Yaris GR. So thank you Toyota for encouraging Michelin to bring some smaller 4Ss to Europe. The Goodyear Eagle F1 SuperSport is available in a handful of 18-inch sizes, and Continental only make the SportContact 6 in a couple of obtuse 18-inch sizes. None of these tyres are available in 17 inches. What everyone's really been asking for is a new competitor to take the fight to the existing trio and for it to be available in many wheel sizes, not just reserved for the biggest and most expensive cars. Is this too much to ask? Well, Bridgestone don't think so, and 2021 has brought the launch of the new Bridgestone Potenza Sport. This is Bridgestone's first serious update to their ultra-high performance range of tyres in about 150 years, but boy have they done it properly. The new Potenza Sport is available in 7 17-inch fitments, at least 20 18-inch fitments, and then sizes all the way up to 22-inch. This means us drivers of cars with smaller wheel sizes don't have to feel shortchanged anymore when shopping for a performance tyre. But what good is a lot of sizes if the tyre doesn't actually perform? Well, it's early days, but things are actually looking really promising for this new tyre. At the time of filming, the Potenza Sport has been in just 2 tests and reviewed by one single person on the Tyre Reviews website. The first test was a 20-inch tyre test on a Mustang by the testing masters over at AutoBuild, and the new Potenza Sport won overall, beating the Continental SportContact 6, which was in second place, the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S in third, and the Goodyear Eagle F1 SuperSport in fourth. While the Michelin was faster around the dry handling lap, the Bridgestone was the fastest in wet and had the shortest dry braking distance, so an impressive start. The second test the Potenza Sport has featured in this year is by Sport Auto, which used a staggered 19-inch fitment. In this test, the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S did win overall. Even more encouraging news is that both tests called the Bridgestone a sporty handling tyre with direct steering and high levels of precision. Everything we want from an ultra-high performance tyre. Nice, really looking forward to this one. The single review on tyrereviews.com has also been very complimentary too. Is all of this too good to be true? Well, there's 2 caveats I can think of. Firstly, the price. It doesn't look like it's going to be a cheap tyre, but as with tyres, you often get what you pay for, and it's no more expensive than its rivals like from Michelin. That shouldn't be a big issue. Secondly, and perhaps I might be worrying about nothing, wear has not yet been tested. Newer Bridgestone tyres, such as the A005 Evo, admittedly this is an all-season tyre, have had excellent grip, but relatively poor wear for their categories. That, combined with the fact in 255/35/19, the new Potenza Sport only starts with 6.7 millimeters of tread, which is lower than the 7.4 millimeters the Pilot Sport 4S comes with in the same size, and the 8 millimeters, something like the Goodyear Eagle F1 Asymmetric 5 gets, you can see why I might be worried. Time will tell, and keep an eye on tyrereviews.com for further information. Lastly, one thing that hasn't yet been proven is, does this tyre actually perform well below 19 and 20 inches? Well, the good news is I will be finding out. The 2021 Tyre Review Summer Tyre Test is using the popular 225 14 18-inch size, and I have 14 tyres on test, including the Michelin Pilot Sport 4 and the 4S, the Goodyear Eagle F1 Asymmetric 5 and the F1 SuperSport, and of course the new Bridgestone Potenza Sport and various other tyres. Game on Bridgestone, let's see where you sit. Now, travel rules allowing, I will be testing this early April, and the test should be on the channel and the website shortly after. This is a test I'm really excited for, and you should be too if you're into this kind of thing. So subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're one of the first to know. I had to say it at least once this video. Speaking of the smaller performance sizes, my recommendations are still the Continental PremiumContact 6, which is a really great handling tyre in that sector, but perhaps not the most comfortable. The Goodyear Eagle F1 Asymmetric 5 as a solid all-rounder, and the Michelin Pilot Sport 4 as a really good performance tyre with comfort in mind. It's one of the more comfort-biased tyres. Outside of the premium tyres, the Falken Azenis FK510 is still doing really well in tests, especially wet and comfort categories, as I found a few years ago, and no ultra high performance list is ever complete without at least mentioning Vredestein with the Ultrac Vorti R, as it's always worth looking into, especially if you're into that dry performance. As for more comfort biased tyres for everyday driving, well, you can refer back to my video from last year for my full recommendations, as I test, I can't remember, 11 tyres in 16-inch really thoroughly, and that video comes up with some great conclusions, so that'll be linked below. However, there are some new tyres worth talking about in this video. As in my test, the Goodyear EfficientGrip Performance 2 is still performing really well and doing insanely well in wear testing, often beating Michelin in mileage, which is usually unheard of, especially in the 16-inch segment. I imagine its new brother, the EfficientGrip 2 SUV tyre, will be just as good for an SUV, but I will be doing an SUV test later this year, so hit subscribe. I'm sorry, that's two. The Michelin Primacy 4 seems to be doing really well in every test it's in this year, car or SUV, as does the Continental PremiumContact 6. There's a theme here with brands. And if you want to spend a little bit less money, the Maxxis Premitra HP5 has just won another test, which is amazing for a tyre priced as well as it is. But in tests previously where they've tested wear, it's often not the best wearing tyre, but I feel like this is just about offset by the purchase price. The new Kumho Ecsta HS51, I mean, this isn't a new pattern, it's been on the market for a while, but it must have had a huge midlife upgrade this year, as it performed really well in the auto build test. The auto build test does include wear and all the premium tyres, and it starts off with 53 tyres, so to win this is a really big accolade for Kumho. The upgrade looks so big, I'm actually not sure why Kumho haven't given the tyre a new name. The auto build test was in the popular 205 55 16-inch size, so does this mean all of the HS51s on the market will be this good? Honestly, I don't know. I did reach out to Kumho for comment, but got no reply. But I would guess that the updated compound will be rolled into the most popular sizes first, like the 16-inch. I'm trying to get to the bottom of how this tyre has gone from what was an average at best tyre all the way to a class-leading 16-inch tyre. Speaking of impressive, the Continental own brand Semperit launched their Speedlife 3 in 2020, and it's just featured in its first test this year. It's looking really strong in the smaller wheel sizes, and it means it should be a very good value tyre. And the other new tyre I know of 2021 is the Toyo Proxys Comfort, which I think came out this year. I haven't had any official communication, but it definitely is its first tyre test this year. This new tyre sadly seems to be pretty disappointing, losing the Sport Auto 16-inch test and finishing 11th of 20 in the Auto Build 16-inch test. So maybe avoid that one for now and maybe let it run through the system. I know there's a lot of love for Toyo, and they're a strong Japanese brand with a lot of heritage, but it just seems like this tyre is not quite there yet. Finally, for all you all-season tyres users out there, firstly refer back to my all-season test from last year, linked to below, and I'm going to be doing another all-season test this year with all of the new tyres coming, so subscribe for that. Okay, that's number 3, but subscribe for that. That should be out around September. But the Cross Climate 2 is finally coming to Europe this year, and it promises to continue the dry dominance of the Cross Climate Plus while improving the wet and snow performance, which were the two areas the Cross Climate Plus was starting to lose out on against its rivals. Unsurprisingly, I will be doing a lot with this tyre this year. The new tyre should be to market around August, September, which was when that all-season test should be coming out. And in that all-season test, I'll also be testing the new Nokian Season Proof, which replaces the Nokian Weatherproof. The Nokian Weatherproof was always one of the best all-season tyres in the snow, so it'll be super interesting to find out whether the Season Proof can move the performance in the dry and wet on to match its snow performance, because if it can, that'll be an excellent all-round tyre from Nokian. That's about it for what's new for 2021. Go watch some of the videos from last year if you want a bit more information on some of the recommendations. The links are in the description. Don't forget to head over to tyrereviews.com and review your own tyres. It would be really appreciated. And speaking of being really appreciative, I'd really like to thank this video's sponsor, Skillshare.
If, like me, you enjoy learning new things or furthering your knowledge in an area you're passionate about, you'll love today's video sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of amazing classes, and the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. I've actually been using Skillshare myself to try and improve the content of these videos. Not only have I been trying to improve my Premiere video editing, I'm currently halfway through a 3-hour Adobe After Effects tutorial to try and up the graphic games called Learn Adobe After Effects CC for Beginners by Jordi Vandeput. The section on motion tracking is particularly useful when you're trying to apply things like graphics to moving cars. Fortunately, you don't have to sit through the entire class at once. Each class is broken up into bite-sized sections which you can pick up whenever you have a free 5 minutes. Skillshare has a great community around it and 0 adverts. Don't forget, if you're one of the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description, you'll get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership, so head on over now and level up your life. You won't regret it.